Let's make homemade yogurt the easy way. I like my yogurt thicker, more like Greek yogurt, so that I can use it in place of sour cream as well. If you don't sweeten it, which in this recipe we do not sweeten it, then you can do this. But if you like a runnier yogurt, you can just not strain it as long as I do. I am using regular store-bought milk for this. It is pasteurized, but not ultra-pasteurized or UHT. Those two use a higher heat in order to treat it, and that damages the proteins in the milk so that they can't really form a curd very good. Make sure you just use pasteurized. I'm using a whole gallon here. Pour the whole gallon into a heavy-bottomed pot that can hold it all, and heat it up to 180 degrees, whisking often to avoid scalding. Mine actually did scald here in this video, and that's okay. I'm glad it happened so that I can show you it's not a big deal. Once it reaches 180 degrees Fahrenheit, keep it at that temperature for about 10 minutes just to kill off anything that could be present from the factory in which it was stored, and then turn off the heat so that it can cool down to 110. We have cooled down to 110 degrees, which is safe to add the yogurt to inoculate this batch. If it is too hot, then it'll actually kill the bacteria in the yogurt that you need in order to culture this batch of milk. You can see that this is organic yogurt with live active cultures. And I'm adding about 3 tablespoons of frozen yogurt to this 1 gallon of milk to inoculate it. So all of the bacteria in that yogurt is going to colonize this milk basically over the 24 hours that we let it ferment and turn it all into yogurt. So I'm just gonna break it up, swirl it around, make sure it's all evenly distributed. Now we are just going to pour it into our fermentation vessel. In this case, I'm using a half-gallon mason jar instead of a full gallon because I knew I would spill most of it. I can't find my funnel. But you can use a bowl or a crock or whatever you have as long as you can make some sort of lid. As you can see, there are some yellow bits. That's just the scalded milk, and like I said, it's no big deal. You'll want to try to avoid that for aesthetic purposes and for texture reasons, but it's okay if it happens. I'm going to put a lid on this and wrap it up with incandescent cheapy Christmas lights from the dollar store. Make sure they're not LED because those do not give off heat, but incandescent lights keep it at about 80 to 85 degrees, which is perfect for this kind of fermentation. We're going to leave this sit on the countertop for at least 24 hours. Sometimes if it's winter time and your kitchen's a little colder, you can go longer, but this time 24 hours was perfect for me. As you can see, the yogurt is solid and it doesn't move or wash around when I tilt the jar. However, you can see a little layer of yellowy, watery whey on top, so we have formed essentially curds and whey. Take the lid off and it'll look and smell like yogurt. I am putting a bowl capable of holding all of this volume with a metal mesh strainer and then a flour sack towel that I've folded up into 4 so that there's 4 layers to sort through. Pour your yogurt directly into the flour sack towel, and this will let the whey drain through over the course of the straining process, and the longer you leave it sit, the thicker your yogurt will be. See that texture? We got yogurt. If you like a runnier, more traditional texture of yogurt, you can always just add some of this whey back in and mix it up to tailor it to your preferences. So make sure you save that. The yogurt I showed you at the beginning of this video had strained for 24 hours in the fridge. See the whey coming through? This yogurt has sat for 24 hours in the fridge, covered so that no skin forms on top, and you can see it's thickened up a lot. The flour sack towel has absorbed a lot of the whey as it wicked it away from the curd mass, and you can see like it's kind of dripping, so just be mindful of that when you put it in the fridge. There's the whey. It's a slightly yellow, watery substance. It's really good for you. Whey actually is fairly acidic, and this is sour whey because it's made with yogurt, as opposed to the, quote, sweet whey from cheese making. You can use them for different purposes. I like to use this to marinate meat. I'm removing this and just peeling away the towel, and you can see it comes away fairly easily. so that I can transfer the yogurt into a storage container. And like I said, if you like it thinner, you can always just add some whey back in and stir it to combine. If you let this strain a little longer, you could probably use it in place of cream cheese in most applications, but I haven't tried that, so let me know if you do. I'm just going to take the whole mass and add it to my storage container and just kind of smooth it around with a spoon. And because I hate waste and I'm OCD, I'm going to scrape the rest of the yogurt away from the flour sack towel. This will make it a lot easier to clean the flour sack towel later on as well. If you wanted to sweeten this, you could always just add probably about a half cup of honey, or if you wanted to add that simple syrup that we made in another video, or some maple syrup, then you can sweeten this yogurt up and use it in snacks. There you have it. Like I said, use this as sour cream, maybe on taco night, or you can just add this to your smoothies, whatever you want. It's a really easy way to make yogurt without having to fuss over the constant temperature and to make sure that you did it right or not. You'd be able to tell by the smell of it and by the look of it if something went wrong. Just make sure you use clean utensils and don't skip the step of heating to 180 degrees. Make sure you save back at least 3 tablespoons of this batch so that you can make a future batch and never have to buy yogurt again. I store this just like this in an airtight container for up to a month without any mold issues. I haven't had it last any longer than that because we eat it up pretty regularly, but if you store it longer successfully, please let me know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this easy method for making this versatile staple at home. Thanks for watching!